Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. Typically I don't do story time videos about like stuff that happens to me in my life,
but I want to tell you what happened to me at the airport before traveling to Chihuahua, Mexico.
My mom and I bought our flight tickets. Instead of going to LAX, which is like super close to us, we ended up going to the Tijuana International Airport because it was gonna be cheaper. Our flight was December 28th at 12:50 a.m. So December 28th comes, my cousin drove us. We get there around 10 p.m. And now before you get to the Tijuana airport, you're supposed to cross this like bridge, and to pass through that bridge you're supposed to buy a little ticket. We bought the ticket to go and to come back, so in total each of us paid $30. Now we're walking through it, and then before we get to the airport there's another line. Basically, if you're traveling to Mexico for more than 7 days, they charge you another $20. So my mom and I were traveling for 10 days, so we had to pay an extra $20. And at this point we're not really happy, you know, we're supposed to be saving money, and then we just get charged for this, and then we got charged for something else. So whatever. It is now 11:10. So we start kind of like booking it and walking faster. We finally make it into the airport. We're looking for our airline. We're in line. The line is like super long, but you know, we made it. We're in line. We're next. You know, we're gonna check in. We're gonna get on that plane. We're gonna go to Mexico. I have mine and my mom's passport and our tickets. I hand it over to the guy. The guy takes a look at my passport, opens up our tickets, looks at it, looks at me, and says,
"Your ticket was for December 28th.
And I'm like, yeah, I know, December 28th. Today's December 28th. And then he's like,
"Do you have a cell phone?"
And I was like, yes, I have a cell phone. I don't have the Note 7, if that's what you think, because I know you're not supposed to bring the Note 7 on the airplane. And then he's like,
"Can you please bring out your cell phone?"
So I'm like, okay. I bust down my iPhone, put it on the table, and he's like,
"Please press the home button and see what day it is."
I push the home button, take a look at the date, and I see that it says December 29th, 12:45 a.m.
Oh my god.
And that's when I realized my mom was gonna kill me. So at this point I'm like, oh my god, you don't understand, like we need to get on this airplane, like can you please switch the day, like we cannot stay here. He was like, I'm sorry, I can't change your flight here. You're gonna need to go to the booth over there and see what the airline can do for you. At this point my mama is mad, she's furious, she's like, you know, in Spanish she's just like, So anyways, she stays here. So I go over there, I talk to this lady, I tell the situation of what happened. She's like, I'm sorry miss, there's nothing I can do for you. You're supposed to book the flight 2 hours in advance. This flight's about to leave in like 15 minutes, and unfortunately we can't refund you for the flight you missed because it was yesterday's flight. So I'm like, my mom's gonna kill me. Basically I'm like, okay, like when is the next available flight for Chihuahua, Mexico? The next flight we have is at 10 a.m. and it arrives to Chihuahua at 7 p.m. And I was like, what? I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, like no. So I was like, okay, thank you, bye. I go to a different airline. They're telling me that the next flight to Chihuahua, Mexico, it's at 8 a.m. and it arrives at 11 a.m. So I'm like, okay, yes, can you please just give me that flight? That flight was $350 per person. We got 2 tickets. I paid for them because I up. So we ended up staying at the Tijuana airport for 8 hours because obviously we're like super far from where we live. There's like no seating there whatsoever, not even one chair to sit on. There we are on the floor. My mom, she's there laying down. She like slept for a little bit. 6 a.m. comes. My mom's like, let's get in line so we can check in. We get to the front. Once again, we're on time this time. We give her the ticket. One of the luggages was a little overweight, so they charged us like 65 bucks for it. I had a handbag, and then I had this bag right here, which weighs nothing. While we were checking the bags, the lady was like, oh, what do you have in here? And I was like, oh, I have my light to film. And she was like, oh, okay. So finally we go to this other line where you just give your boarding pass, and then you have to pass through the little machine where they x-ray all your bags or whatever. I passed through the little x-ray machine, and then some security guys like,
whose bag is this?
And I'm like, that's my bag. And then they tell me this.
This can't go on the airplane. Your tripod is considered a weapon.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? Anyways, my mom is like furious again because she's gonna have to wait for me to go back in that long ass line to check this damn bag because my tripod is considered a weapon. I go to check in my bag, this bag that weighs nothing. They charge me $65 to check this in. But at that point I was just like, I don't care, I just want to get on the damn airplane. Finally we're in the waiting area. We finally get on the airplane. Yes, we're going to Mexico. And at this point I'm like, okay, that's it. I thought that was gonna be the end of the story. Nope. Do you know how they pass out like drinks? So my mom gets an apple juice, I get an apple juice, I'm drinking my apple juice. Then I look to my right. My mom drops her orange juice all over her. I'm just looking at her. I'm just like cracking up because everything that's happened to us, and it's still happening. So that happened, and then she gets a coffee. A couple moments later, my mom tilts her coffee and drops coffee on herself. We ended up switching seats. Finally, we arrived to Chihuahua, Mexico, where my aunt and 2 of my cousins picked us up. While we were, you know, driving to my aunt's house, the yellow light comes up and like he passes the yellow, and then like you see a damn police officer go woo woo woo. So we get pulled over. We literally don't even have an hour in Mexico and we already got pulled over. So he gets a ticket and I'm just like, damn. But anyways, finally we make it to my aunt's house. And yeah, that was the end of the story. I'm definitely never going back to Tijuana International Airport. That I'm just gonna go LAX. Let me know in the comments below if anything has ever happened to you while you took a flight. And yeah, thanks for watching and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!